housing projects in Nairobi. Ladies and gentlemen, Nairobi residents and members of the Fourth Estate, my attention has been drawn to accusations captured in media that I'm in possession of land titles belonging to G and Pangani affordable housing projects. Well, I recommend that the Nairobi City County Assembly for bringing this matter up through the Lands and Urban Planning Committee. I would like from the onset to state the facts in regard to the two projects that were dear to my heart when I was serving as the second governor of this great city. It is important to note that the affordable housing projects in Nairobi was brainstormed and planned during the tenure of the former governor, my good friend Evans Kidero, who served as the first governor of Nairobi. It is during this time that the county government and the national government started collaborating on ways to revamp the 7 old estates in Nairobi. This was to be done through a public-private partnership with the county providing land and the investors allowed to charge an agreed percentage on the property to make their profit. I want to bring to your attention that the leases, these titles for both G and Pangani were processed in 2018 during my time as governor. Take note that there was no meaningful progress in terms of development that happened during the previous administration before I took over, until when I took over. Indeed, under my tenure, we fast-tracked the development by diligently negotiating an exit agreement between the county government and the tenants in respective estates, with G and Pangani being one of them. We must acknowledge the fact that most tenants were old people and old families who had spent decades of struggle living in the estates. We therefore agreed to give every tenant a sum of Kenya shilling 600,000 as a facilitation fee applicable for 2 years for them to find alternative accommodation within the city as they awaited the completion of the projects. Further, take note that being a people's governor by then, I was never going to allow forceful evictions or transfer of people without a clear plan. We had to ensure that the registered tenants are given priority once the houses are complete. This was eventually agreed and signed between the county, the estate associations, and the respective developers or other investors. We started the G project with a plan to put up 1,830 units, while Pangani was to give, or rather have, 1,562 housing units. The investors had to pump around 3 to 4 billion, as stated earlier. This was public-private partnership. I wish to state, it is my belief that Nairobi City County Government and the Oversight Committee in charge of this matter must be discerning enough to know that the Ministry of Lands registries are normally the custodian of the records. If they take time, they realize the leases were processed in the year 2018. It is officially captured. For instance, G, it is captured under the special purpose vehicle that was used, that is Nairobi Bachelors G Estate Limited, which is a private limited company incorporated under the Companies Act, and also the certificates of transfer of lease that was signed in July 2019 and witnessed by the Nairobi City County government, and the joint registration of the special purpose vehicles. These joint ventures agreement were drafted and prepared before I took over as governor. Ours was just implementation of the projects. It is my humble submission that there is a grand plan by senior staff, politicians, and cartels who want to be allocated houses without following the due process. Whatever has been circulating, or whatever came up from the county assembly and the county government of Nairobi, I believe these were just diversionary tactics to divert the real issues. Because the other day I saw from Citizen TV that investors who had purchased these houses were complaining that despite them investing millions, they are yet to be allocated with these houses, meaning the projects have stalled. It is well documented that during my tenure, the county had a seamless and good working relationship with the national government in executing the affordable housing project in Nairobi. A good example is the 1,370 affordable housing units in Park Road, Ngara project. It is the first affordable housing project of the Kenya government to improve people's livelihood, and the first project of the affordable housing plan of the Big Four agenda by that time by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. It is here that our legendary athlete mkimbiaji Faith Kipyegon, who was gifted a spacious house by the current president. I therefore call upon the Governor Johnson Sakaja, the Nairobi City County Government, to focus on provision or providing necessary support to ensure the projects are complete without much drama na siasa, because sisi ndio master vipindire, sisi ndio wazilishi wa vipindi. So hizi zao, I think they are trying to divert attention, kama niliposema Citizen wale highlight investors wakileta shida. Na I was there yesterday kwa hizi projects Pangani water, both the investors I can say they've done a good job. Pangani is over 12 floors, Jibanji pia imeenda. Now I want to rudi nyuma kidogo. Under the joint venture agreements which were there, the county was to provide land. My contribution in the county was the land. Investors was coming with their billions. Then they do a joint registration of the properties. So what I did to clear my name, I wrote a letter to the land registrar that was yesterday, demanding to know the current status of both the Pangani title deed and the Jibanji. So I did a letter to the land registrar dated yesterday, 23rd October 2014, which was received yesterday and stamped at the land's office. The land registrar, Jibanji is LR number 219/5458, and the IR is there. Then Pangani is Nairobi block 40474. These letters were received. I paid via e-Citizen through my M-Pesa. A receipt from Sasa was issued. I was glad, and I want to compliment the CS Ministry of Lands, the PS, Mr. Nixon Korir, for what they have done, because I only spent less than 20 minutes and I was furnished with all the documents. So I wonder why the MCAs and the county government senior officials, including the CECs, if I was a governor in 2017, I was impeached in 2020. So 3 years down the line, now we're in 2023. You mean they didn't realize that the title was missing? The custodian of these records is the CEC, Lands, and the chief officer, county chief officers. Unataka kuniambia since 2020 hawajaona ati titles haziko? Hii ni kipindi ya hali ya juu, na na condemn mambo ya kurudiana majina. Let me go to the records which were furnished to me by the Ministry of Lands. We have the official search, but first I'll go to the leases. Officially, I pushed for these documents to be registered in the name of the Nairobi City County Government. On 16th July 2018, this is the green card because the Pangani is under a block, not under Pangani is under cap 300, and Jivanji I think is under cap 281 if I'm not wrong. So the list for Pangani, we have certified copies of the green card. 16th July 2018, Nairobi City County became the owner from the national government, and then lease was registered on the 20th September 2018 under a special purpose vehicle going by the name of Nairobi Pangani Estate Limited. It was a joint registration between the Nairobi City County and the investor of Pangani in 2018, and the projects started. This is the list. This was my county secretary by then, Peter Kariuki. This is the land registrar. So the property was officially transferred to the county in 2018. This is Pangani. You go to Jivanji, the same thing. This is the list. This is my county secretary. To make the matters worse, this is SG Mwangi, who was the chief officer by then.